Despite soaring chocolate prices and inflation pressures, 2025 is expected to be a record year for candy sales in the United States, with about $3.9 billion spent on Halloween candy alone, according to the National Retail Federation. So perhaps the most timely measure of the American psyche isn't in a polling booth or a therapist's office, but in the trick-or-treat bag. A lot of times what we get out of Halloween is a reflection of ourselves, said Shannon Weiner, the Senior Director of Consumer Insights for the Ferrara Candy Company, which sells popular handouts like Nerds Gummy Clusters and Trolley Sour Bright Crawlers. Candy has social currency for people. This year, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups dominate as the top Halloween candy choice, and gummies continue to climb. We asked analysts who study food and retail trends, as well as the confectioners themselves, to peer into the collective candy haul and tell us what our choices might be saying about us. Here's what they see. Flavor maximalism. It's all about amped-up flavors and textures this year. Extreme sour is the coin of the realm. Freeze-dried candy, which first appeared in the 1980s, is the most popular kid at the Halloween party. Sweet tarts and lemonheads, those stalwarts of the trick-or-treat circuit, are debuting freeze-dried versions. Skittles introduced a freeze-dried version last year, and chili-coated gummies Fuego this fall. Ferrara has pushed its mouth-puckering Nerds franchise into new textural territory with Nerds Juicy Gummy Clusters, chewy, goo-filled gummy balls coated in crunchy little nerd pieces. Why the appetite for sensory overload? One theory is that young people want antidotes to increasingly virtual, repetitive and isolated daily lives, said Jenny Zegler, Director of Food and Drink at the market research company Mintel. Her colleague, Kelsey Gerard, elaborated, "You're always swiping to the next video or scrolling on your phone, so you need a flavor or a texture that's going to stop you in your tracks." A drop in the sale of chocolate Halloween candy is one barometer of how a segment of America is coping with inflation. Chocolate prices have jumped so high that some people are threatening on social media to keep the porch lights off this year. Figures from Circana, which analyzes consumer behavior, show that the price of chocolate candy has risen almost 29% over the start of the Halloween season last year. A recent survey by the personal finance site FinanceBuzz has prices of Halloween candy up 78% from 5 years ago. Americans are seeking low-risk ways to have some fun this year, which is why an element of surprise comes built into a number of new and popular candies. We want to have an exciting experience, but if we think about all of the uncertainty in the world in general, you don't want your candy adding to it, said Ms. Gerard of Mintel. Dots, which has been around for 80 years, has come out with a ghost edition. The drops, which are usually multicolored, are all tinted the same light green, so you don't know which flavor you're about to pop into your mouth. Jolly Rancher jumped into the mystery game with Tricky Gummies, which jumble colors and flavors so a green one tastes like cherry. And then there's the thrill of not knowing whether you're about to eat one of the extra spicy pieces hidden in packages of Sour Punch Ghost Pepper Roulette. Wacky Halloween candies are thriving even in a year when consumers don't want to shell out money for something they aren't sure will be good, said Ms. Lyons Wyatt of Circana. But we're talking about a piece of candy, which in the big scheme of things is the sort of affordable luxury people are looking for. The price of cacao, which more than doubled from 2023 to 2024, is taking much of the blame, but consumers are also complaining about inflation and the new tariffs. Nearly 80% of Halloween shoppers expect to pay more because of the tariffs, according to the National Retail Federation survey. And yes, shrinkflation is still a factor. Last year, some reports showed that Halloween candies were sometimes 10% smaller than they were a year earlier, or that bags contained fewer pieces even though the price hadn't dropped. The shrinkage continues. Compared to last year, we are seeing smaller-sized Halloween chocolate items, said Sally Lyons Wyatt, the Global Executive Vice President and Chief Advisor for Consumer Good and Food Service at Circana. It's corn country. If national politics were a Halloween treat, it would be candy corn. No other staple of the holiday, some people call it the earwax of clowns, is as divisive. You have the people who want to hate on it every year and you have the defenders, and we see the dialogue play out on social media, said Matt Escalante, a vice president of Brock's, which is owned by Ferrara and this year will make £22 million of the sweet kernels. This Halloween, candy corn is getting an additional boost from social media trends. One is the candy salad, whose simple recipe involves mixing various kinds of candy in a bowl. Candy corn also stars in ASMR and restocking videos. It has also been described as the perfect mate for Mimolette in the inexplicable practice of pairing Halloween candy with cheese. The move toward treats with fewer problematic ingredients like artificial dyes continues to grow, thanks in part this year to lists of Halloween candy approved by the Make America Healthy Again moms. While overall sales of gummies have increased less than 2% this year, sales of better-for-you versions that are lower in sugar and free of artificial colors are up 54%, said Scott Dicker, Senior Director of Market Insights for the research company Spins. Still, most shoppers don't appear to be looking for health in their Halloween candy. It will remain a relatively niche space, said Ms. Gerard of Mintel. But we will definitely be keeping our eye on what happens with colorings and dyes.